these matter. A lot of advisors out there just sell by illustration, which is going to show you this lofty back-tested return, which, these indexes have been created in recent times. So when these institutions create these indexes, they have hindsight to their advantage, and they can make an index look really, really good because they know exactly how it would have performed in the back test. And so what we look at is, yes, we look at back tests, but that's not the end all be all. We actually place heavier weight of importance on real-time returns. In other words, when that index actually went live on the market, when it was incepted, what has the performance been? And then we can tie in the performance to the other asset classes or benchmarks in the stock market and bond market and see, did they perform the way they should have? So there are good indexes out there. There's bad ones. We want to make sure that they're performing the way they should.
Yeah. And you hit on a great point here while we're covering these steps of, the multi-point inspections. One thing that you really pointed out that stuck out was that lock-in option. And what you had mentioned is that we reach out to our clients when we reach a certain point, when we recognize a positive for our clients or even a negative. But it's worth knowing in our process that we take, we don't see this as a one-time transaction. These are relationships that we hold for as long as we're working with you and for as long as that agreement is in place and as long as you want to work with us. So we don't recognize this as a one-time solution. We'll contact you, let you know, hey, here's what's going on, whether it's positive or negative. We continue that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's essential to all of this is the relationship. It matters.
Yeah. So anything else you wanted to add on?
No, I think we're good. Let's roll on to step 4 there.
Yeah. So step 4 being just understanding the application and transfer process. So when somebody is ready to move forward with an annuity, this kind of speaks back to our process that we take in communication. Now we've picked an annuity, we've elected one. Next comes the electronic transfer process.
Yeah, and this should be a really smooth process. It should be very simple, cut and dry. You're dotting your I's, you're crossing your T's. And ultimately, what it's going to come down to is that your advisor is keeping you in the loop on everything. And they're helping you take care of this application. But even more so after the fact, they should be providing you with weekly updates at a minimum of the status of your application and how things are moving through the queue there at whatever, insurance provider or annuity provider you're working with.
Yeah. And I've got a standard practice in place that everybody gets an email every Friday just to check in, even if nothing new is going on, even if we're in the same position in the process and transferring funds over. Even if I talk to them the day prior, an email still goes out just so that I can continue my checklist and make sure that I'm following up with everybody.
Yeah, and transparency again is going to be key here. You're not just handing over your money and hoping it all works out, right? You should be able to verify everything along the way. And one of the ways that we are able to provide our clients, a very transparent and simple process when it comes to putting the annuity in place is once the annuity application's been submitted, as soon as a policy number is assigned to that case, we're going to send that in an update to the client so that you have a verifiable number that is unique to you. And you can call the carrier and speak with them and verify that that policy number exists to put you at ease that, everything is going the right direction. In addition, a lot of times people are weary about, the funds transfer process, right? Like they sometimes may assume that if they work with someone like us, that's a virtual firm and we work with clients in all 50 states, that they don't know us, right? They're not going to a local branch that in their town that they can see somebody face to face. And they're kind of hesitant about moving funds. Just to put it out there, funds never go to our custodianship. When you buy an annuity, the process of transferring funds is 99% of the time a direct transfer. So in other words, it's a custodian-to-custodian transfer. So if you have your funds at Fidelity and Nationwide or whatever insurance company that offers the annuity, that's the one you're moving forward with, that's a direct transfer between the custodians. And in that application, there's going to be transfer paperwork that's done and signed off by you. And then Nationwide, or whatever insurance company it is, will take that signed off paperwork, contact Fidelity or whoever the custodian is that has possession of the funds initially, and say, hey, we have a mutual client. They're wanting to move X amount of dollars from this account at your establishment over to us. And it's a direct transfer. So it's very safe. It's very sound, and very low risk. There's no risk. Money doesn't go to us. So that's all I'm trying to say there.
Yeah, we've got the ability to document for it and do follow-up calls, include you on those calls. So if you do want to speak with your transferring custodian to who it's going to, or to the carrier it's going to, you can call them together if you'd like to verify anything else. But Jeremiah, I apologize to leave you. That client that I had mentioned earlier that wanted to meet, who had only been suggested one annuity product, we've got a meeting with them here at the hour. So I'm going
No
to
worries.
leave you with the final step, and I will hop off. So until next time, I'll see you then.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks.
So we have step 5 to wrap this up. And it's very simple. It's, the person that you're working with, the advisor on this annuity purchase, they should have a process and a commitment to conduct annual performance reviews with you. We want to ensure that, you're getting the most value out of your annuity, especially if it's a fixed indexed annuity that has the option to reallocate the index crediting strategies every year or every 2 years. It's essential that you're working with someone that's going to continue reviewing the performance of your annuity so that you can really get the most value and get the most opportunity for your money.